Hello everyone and welcome back to Manor Lords, a medieval city building game with a real-time strategy element. In the last episode, we were able to fix most of our financial woes and we were able to get the king's tax a little bit under control, as well as fend off old Lord Grumpyface and pretty much take control of most of the realm, even though we didn't really want all the lands. And now with our farms and fields pretty much producing everything we could ever want and our sheep getting bred quite regularly, this means we'll be able to support our main city a lot better. And a happier main city pretty much means that we have all of the ability in the world to tax however that we want, making ourselves much richer in the future. But in this episode, I think that we can do our trading a lot better. I think that we have more than enough food that we really could sell some if we really needed to. We'll leave a little bit for trading purposes, but for the most part, I think we sell any surplus that we have, as well as get one of these iron deposits, as we need as much war in our life as possible. We also need something that has a decent clay deposit, but unfortunately some lands are taken by somebody else. I'm coming for you, Lord Grumpyface. And if that is something that you want to see, go ahead and hit that like button, and let's jump in to Manor Lords. Alright, so now that we have control of most of the realm, I want to get into something that we've been needing to do for quite some time, and that's get ourselves a rich deposit of iron. Now we could go over here into Goldhof and pick up a rich deposit on the easy, but I would also really like to have a rich deposit of clay, that way I could make as many roof tiles as possible. Roof tiles trade really well and they're easy to make. They're a pretty renewable resource if you have a rich deposit. But the only place that has that kind of resources is Selbitz here. And unfortunately, it's owned by Lord Grumpyface. So I'm kind of curious as if we don't try to take him on and take this land. But to do something like that, we're going to need some help. We're going to need a lot of retinue, which means we're going to need a lot of taxes. And to do that, it's pretty much just make sure that your regional wealth is really high. So I'm kind of feeling like the first thing we really need to start doing is trading anything that we possibly can. Over here in Hogwarts, it's going to be pretty much everything. Everything that we have any kind of excess of that we don't want to send over to Buzzland. So really, I want to stop importing the meat. Fully stop and not worry about it. As well as I want to start trading some of these other things that we produce, such as bread and vegetables and even the apples. I'll export them once they get over, I don't know, I'm thinking about 1,500. Anything above that should be a decent amount, and we should be able to keep enough to trade to our other city, as well as sell and make some money at. I mean, we got enough vegetables. I think I'll put that sucker at 2,000. And the same for apples. I want to keep a lot of apples, as apples are something that are kind of difficult to get started. I just have grown very attached to those apples, as it takes 3 years to grow a tree. Now, the cloaks here, I definitely want to trade those, but not right now. I want to send those cloaks over to Buzzland and give them a bigger perk on their clothing side of things. That way we can tax them just ever so little bit more. Because as you can see here in Hogwarts, we're doing pretty good as far as approval. Now, the taxation is a big negative, but we are keeping up with it because of our clothing and our market and our church level. Plus, we haven't had a bad stretch of lack of entertainment in a while. With our tavern fully supplied and having quite a bit in storage, our people here will never not have a drink again, because drinking makes you happy and forget how miserable you are. Now, I don't want to raise my taxes just yet. I was thinking about trying to get this to 7, but that 7 is going to require us to make the people just ever so slightly more happy. I think that the easiest way to do that is to try to make sure that we're solidifying any kind of food situation and making sure that we're getting money and happiness and getting more food in here. I really believe that we can't get any more meat into our large granaries because, to be honest with you, I don't think you can hold it. Both of the granaries we have are completely full, and there's absolutely no way I could stuff another piece of anything in either of these. So I think we need to do one of two things. either have a granary dedicated to just holding on all to the meat, or sell as much food as we possibly can and give it away to the other lands. Giving it away, it seems like the most logical thing. So I definitely think I can squeeze another granary right here, but I think it's going to require us to destroy this road. So let's go ahead and take this road out and pop in another small granary right here. Now I won't really have people to work this granary, and it's pretty much just for storage. So I'll go ahead and get this guy built and have him specifically hold the meats. At the same time, I want to make sure that we're getting that barley over here just as quick as we possibly can. So we have 3 different packing stations delivering the barley as fast as our mules can do it. We're exchanging them for warbows, bread, and vegetables. The 3 things that we have a lot of over here. And the reason I want the warbows over there is because I want to be able to start a small militia if I ever so need to. That way, if we get attacked over there from bandits or anybody else, even if Lord Grumpyface comes after us, I want to be able to put together a small army as quickly as possible. Now, warbows are something that we're selling over here in Hogwarts, but I think it should be alright. We can temporarily sell this for no trade and try to get those warbows sent over to Buzzland as quickly as possible. And once we get them over there, we could just sell them in that region. Now, checking out the trade here in Buzzland, we're going to try to sell as much as we possibly can whenever there's an opportunity. The things that we produce the most over here, well, it's our food items, like bread. But we want that bread to be sent out to any and all territories that we may claim in the future. So I kind of want to leave that one alone. The next thing is grain and flour. But we are going to need that grain and flour to be produced so that we can make that bread to send to the other provinces. Now yarn, we're making a whole lot of that. Our sheep are doing really well and they are producing quite a few lambs every year. We're really starting to get that yarn production going. But leather is something that I kind of want to keep here because it's more important that we keep the leather and turn it into commodities, which that commodity would be shoes. Shoes, they sell pretty well. The export price is pretty decent, and it would be good for this economy to keep them. But as we have dyes over here, it would not be a bad idea to turn one of these guys into a tailor's workshop and get one of these guys producing another clothing item for this town. Now we still haven't put down our flax fields, and I did save the space to do so. I think that it's something that we may do in the very near future to start getting some linen produced and sending it over to Hogwarts to be produced into something that everybody wants. Gambesons would be a good option as Gambesons go hand in hand with the archers. As if an archer has this Gambeson, I believe it adds a little bit of protection as far as armor goes. It would be nice to have it just because of the fact that it keeps our archers from getting so beat up. When you have dyes and linens, that's going to make clothes, and it pretty much means a hoodie. Because our village here is straight out of the 90s, of course they want a hoodie. Everybody wants a hoodie. They're so trendy. But if I'm going to put in more flax fields, I think I definitely need another farm. Another farm means that I'm going to need 8 more people. And honestly, it's going to be hard to get that many more people into this town without going to level 3 housing and things of that nature. But here for Buzzland, I think it's definitely time to do a couple of small and minor things. Number 1, we have a lot of houses that want to be upgraded, and they still have space in the back to do things like make chickens or have leather in them. I think it's time to put some goats in the back, as we do have a few eggs being produced. So any house that's ready to be upgraded to a level 2, we're going to do it. So let me go through a quick little upgrade here and see how many houses that we get. And just like that, we have 4 more additional vegetable fields and 1 goat pasture going in. I'm pretty sure this guy will be upgraded to a goat pasture as soon as we possibly can. And any of these that have a backyard, they'll probably get goats as well. Now I am going to need some additional families, and what I'd like to do is go ahead and set that up over here. I want at least 2 more in this particular area. And the reason is I have a feeling that we're going to need some people in the very near future. So an additional family with a little bit of space in the back, that's going to be a good idea. It's still close enough to the market over here that I think they'll be fine. And the reason I want that is because we need some more people in our storage. They're just not gathering up things and moving them around nearly as much as I need. I need them to get the communal oven going a little stronger, to get the dyer's workshop and the everything just moving in our small makeshift area here. Now the granary was just finished here in Hogwarts and I immediately paused the game. The reason is because I want to set this up in the advanced tab. In the advanced tab you have the option to tell it to not have any of these commodities, crafting materials, foods go into this particular area. Now as soon as it's built, it calls out and says bring me everything you've got. So it'll have a few of these items in there. But I want to tell it to only store meat if it's possible. That way we can hopefully start harvesting our meat from our local source. Because I was doing some observing before, and these guys, they're going really far away for some meat. And I really don't understand why. They go all the way out to another province to bring that meat back. I'm not really sure why that's happening, especially because our deposit is fully stocked. As you can see, Mr. Lawrence here, he's going hunting, but he's going really far away for that hunt. Let's find out how far he's willing to go. It looked like he went all the way over here to grab that 1 deer, and then he's taking the path all the way back. It's a very odd scenario to me. I'm not really sure what's going on. One thing I think we could do to try to help these guys out is to put a path maybe around our hunting grounds and our berry picking grounds. That way at least they're taking a path as directly as possible back to our hunting and berry picking area. I don't know if that's going to help, but it might. The same thing is happening here in Hogwarts, and they are going very far as well. I mean, the territory's not even ours. I'm sure Lord Grumpyface, if he ever found out, would probably be pretty upset. Now it is August and we're about to pay our taxes in about 1/3 of a year. So I'm pretty ecstatic about where we are as far as our regional wealth is, because we seem to be making a pretty decent amount of money. We're over 100 coin every month, and that's only going to grow every time our regional wealth goes up. Now that we're not buying any barley, it's really helping out here in Hogwarts. And we've got plenty of barley to go so that our breweries can make as much ale as they possibly can. It might be a good idea to try to give Buzzland a little bit of this happiness. So now with all of our houses all upgraded and the ability to have things in the back, including our new house over here, I think it's time to figure out exactly how many of each item that we want. We are keeping up a little bit with the eggs, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe put 1 more chicken farm somewhere in here, and I think you have just been designated for chickens. But the rest of these guys, I want some goat sheds. And the reason is I want to definitely have enough goats to make enough shoes, because shoes sell so well. And if we need to, we can change one of these guys to a cobbler pretty easy. When you open up the house, you have the ability to destroy whatever it is that you've decided that they are. And you can change them into a cobbler shop really easily. It might be something that we think about once we have enough people to do so. Only having 2 people right now kind of makes things a little rough in old Buzzland. But as you can see as well, our food market variety is a little bit on the rough side. Some people have 3 things, some people have 4. It's just not consistent quite yet, so we need to let this catch up. There are times that it says we're good and other times not so good. Especially if we want to try to charge these people more taxes. We need them to be much more happy with what they have. But over here in Hogwarts, with a happiness at an all-time high, to be honest with you, we could probably start taxing them just ever so little bit more. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to change this up to 7 when it comes to taxing. That definitely ups our predicted loss to a -6, but I think we can handle it. I think that they'll be just happy enough to not run away from our town. And it'll give us the ability to do more with our tax monies, like have some more retinue. Because as of right now, we've got way more than enough to pay our taxes twice. So we definitely know that we can live within our means. And it's only October, so we have a real good chance to overtax our people just ever so little bit without making them too upset. And I think that's going to pay off really well, especially if we want to settle a new province. Oh boy, our royal tax has just increased again. We just built one house. I can't imagine it going up too much, and it didn't. I think it only went up about 40, so that's not too much of a problem. But we have a treasury now of over 2,000. I think it's time that we try to invest ourselves a little bit into some retinue. And I think I want to put those here in Buzzland. The reason is we just don't have very much here in Buzzland as far as anything that can fend anybody off. We don't have the ability yet to put any spear militia in, so I want to make sure that our retinue are looking mighty strong. And upgrading all of these guys is a good start, as well as buying some new ones. I think buying and upgrading as many as we can right now to max them out at 12, I think it would be a very good idea. There we go, a complete army of 12 retinue, fully upgraded, ready to rock, and we still have plenty to pay our taxes. I think that we are set for some real good times over here in Buzzland. If just so happens that an invading army comes in on our borders, we'll be able to take them out, or at least hold them off until Hogwarts comes to save us. Now, I don't know if you remember from the last episode, but we did have a little bit of trouble with our plowing and sowing in our fields over here in Buzzland. So I've been keeping a watchful eye on it, and it's making me a little nervous. It's now December, and they didn't get a lot of the fields done. And I'm not really sure why. Some years they get it done really quickly, and others not so much. So what this tells me is, I believe we need another farmhouse, especially if we want to get that flax going. So another farmhouse, that would be 8 more people, and I really don't know if I want to do that. As of right now, we seem to be doing pretty well as far as food and everything else goes, but if we start putting 8 more people's mouths to feed, that could be a problem. But I'm thinking a solid 5 would be good. Now I know that 5 is an odd number, but these double plots, they house 2 families. So I could make 2 double plots and another one and just not upgrade it for now. And see how bad it puts a stretch on our economy. Now where would we want to do that? Well, honestly, the only place that I could think of is right here. It is as close to the market as we could possibly get it, but that's really not too close. I did put this one over here, but I don't know, maybe another one next to it and then 2 more over here. We'll have to try it out and see how easily. This house down at the very end tends to not get any firewood, but that could be a double reason. Reason number 1, not enough firewood stalls. A firewood stall can only hold 50 wood in its storage. If this firewood stall is full, then it can only provide to 50 families as they go through 1 unit of firewood a month, and double that in the winter. So for every 50 families you need 1 firewood stall. At least that's how it was explained to me. As I see it, we only have 2 firewood stalls, which means that I'm only providing firewood to 100 people, and we have 149. So if I expand Buzzland here and try to add on more families, It means I need more firewood stalls. And if I add a person to the large storehouse here, you're at the luck of the draw whether it's going to be something that has to do with clothing or firewood or something else. I guess we'll have to play the game a bit and see if we get lucky. But I definitely know that I need some more families. And as I said, I believe that this is probably the best place that we can put them. So I'm going to put 2 here and probably 1 over here to make a neighbor for them. That's the best place that I could think to put them. Well, I was just looking at my treasury and seeing that we are getting quite a bit from Hogwarts now. And that's no joke. I mean, we have over 4,000 in regional wealth. And as far as I understand this, it gives you a percentage of what you have as regional wealth. So I guess that's kind of like your GDP? I don't know. I was never good with economics. But we're about to pay our royal tax and oh my gosh! What happened? 1,000? 1,400 coin? Ugh, we're never gonna get those retinue. What is the king doing to us? Why doesn't he like us? I mean, our king's favor is 0, so we're not doing anything good, but we're not doing anything bad. I don't know if we're gonna make it. But Hogwarts being such a money bag here, it's gonna help a lot. But we can't expect this entire colony to provide everything for everyone. I mean, they're already protecting the realm. What more could we ask from them? To start producing wizards? We definitely need to make some magic happen. Well, now that we've paid our tax and we've got another year to accumulate it, which shouldn't be too bad as we seem to be producing quite a bit from old Hogwarts. And to honor Hogwarts, I would really like to get those flax farms going. That way I can send some linen over there. And after looking at our fertility, I definitely want to try to put as many flax fields in as I possibly can. Originally, I had considered putting our farmhouse somewhere here or right next to this. But I really think that a better spot might be right here, right next to these fields down here. And that way, we've split our 3 farmhouses kind of up equally across all this land. So, this is, I think, where it's going to go. I don't plan on putting any more fields back behind here, as this is our hunting grounds that's not getting hunted. I think we'll just do regular flax fields and not worry about anything else. Oh, great. Enemy units? Where are they coming in at? All the way over here in Goldhoff, huh? Well, this is a good time to show those bandits who's boss. Let's go ahead and try to get all of our troops here all at once. Now, we don't want them to run because that'll just wear them out. So we need them to be as rested as possible. Archers, let those things fly. But again, no running, please, sir. Oh, I forgot that Lord Grumpyface's troops are over here. It looks like they did all the hard work for us. They chased them right off the map. All right. Well, maybe we don't have to fight those guys off after all. Okay. Well, everybody, back to what you were doing. So, as Lord Grumpyface was taking out the Raider army, I was doing some thinking in the background. Over here in Hogwarts, we can plow 8 Morgan worth of field with 16 people and 2 oxen per farmhouse. But over here in Buzzland, we split up our fields into half Morgan plots, which by my math means we have 19 Morgans worth of field. And I believe that's why we're struggling so hard to get the fields plowed and planted before the end of the season. It definitely means we need more people and another farmhouse just to be able to farm what we currently have laid out. And if we really want to plant some flax fields to get that harvested, we're gonna need even more. And since we have so much positivity in Buzzland, I was able to increase the taxes just ever so little bit to help them pay their part. This will help us be able to maybe conquer and settle a new land. Because as much as I want to say that Goldhoff will probably be our next victory, as we do have a rich iron deposit, I've kind of got my sights set on old Selbitz here. Selbitz? Syllabits? Syllables? I don't know what it's called. And the reason is that rich clay deposit and that rich iron deposit, it is mighty tempting. Clay and iron are the 2 things that we are still importing into Hogwarts, and if we could get away from it, I'd really like that. So to accomplish that goal, I went ahead and put in a garrison tower here in Buzzland. I want to put together 24 groupings of retinue together. That way we can go over here and try to conquer Selbitz. I think that's the goal, and we have the money to do it. So anytime that I had the ability to do so, I went and recruited a few new retinue. Not too many. I definitely want to keep my monies where they're at. Taking us down to 17 or 16, that's about as gutsy as I could ever be. I'm pretty sure that the more retinue you have, the more expensive your royal tax is. I also did some rejigging on the packing stations to send large shields for a while, and then changed it over to some spears once I had enough shields in Buzzland. Reason is to be able to start a small militia over there if needed. And now with fall completely over and winter setting in on us, we are doing really good all the way across the board. Our king's tax has gone up quite a bit, and we have the treasury to back that up. We definitely have everything that we need to pay the king's tax and then some. On top of that, we have 2 complete complement of retinue, 24 apiece. That's 48 retinue. Oh boy, Lord Grumpy Face, you don't know what's coming. So with that said, I think it's time to throw down the old gauntlet, and we're going to take on Lord Grumpy Face right now. So we'll collect all of our troops and we'll rally them right here into this valley. I think that'll be a great starting place. And as always, we'll make sure that nobody is running. That way they don't wear themselves out by the time they get here. Now, the other thing is I want to bring these troops in as close to the middle of Lord Grumpy Face's territory as possible. And I want to do that because I want to be right there when they first walk in. They're going to have a lot of militia, and those militia archers, they are tough, really tough. It's 3 units of them, and they're very good at what they do. So I would like to just gang up on them as soon as they come in through the border and take them out as quickly as possible. I'm hoping to just overwhelm them with my troops. So with all of our army kind of firmly placed between the 2 territories that he owns, I think it's time to go ahead and try and take this land. We'll claim it with our 2,000 influence, and we'll see how long it takes for him to come in. I've got my retinue on each end and spearmen all down the middle, with our archers laid out pretty well. My idea, like I said, is to rush them as soon as he tries to take his land back. And the gauntlet has been thrown. And here he comes from the left. Okay, not a problem. He claims the battlefields over there, but my plan is to rush him as soon as possible. But let's see what he has to say first. I can make it worth your while if you drop all of your claims. 413 silver? Give me a break. I make more than that from Hogwarts. We'll just write him a nice little note back that says, my claims, they're not negotiable. So take that, Lord Grumpy Face. Now the idea is to go ahead and take out these troops before he calls for his reinforcements. So I'm going to just go ahead and bring my guys up here and see if we can't coax them into coming towards us. The only thing to really contend with is his 36 retinue. They are going to be the toughest ones to take out, but I think we can handle it. Our Hogwarts troops, they're feeling very confident. All that ale, they're ready to fight. So it does seem that we have triggered them, and be aware, this battle is about to be a trigger warning. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to see it very well, but we'll do our best. Now, our archers should start firing as soon as they get within range, which is going to be a good thing to soften them up. Well, the archers are going at it, even though we can't really see it, but we are trying to get flanked on this one side. But we'll have to attack retinue with retinue, and then we'll throw some spears in on this side. These guys, they're doing just fine. We'll send those guys in, and we'll even do a little flank of our own, try to take out everybody. The other thing I want to do is quickly send these spear militia after these archers, and we'll try to take them out and separate them from the rest of the group. All right, we already broke one. Let's just tell everybody to push forward. I think it's time that we push. It seems like we're still giving some chase to these archers. They're pretty scared. I would be scared too. All right, now everybody is broken. We're going to regroup all of our troops over here in the battleground because it still says that we're losing. But now that we've kind of eliminated the first grouping of them, I think we're off to a really good start. If I know Lord Grumpyface, he'll be sending some more troops here shortly, and they will be a much more formidable force than the first run here. Now that we're in the winner's circle here, Lord Grumpyface has sent us a new message, giving us another claim of 420 silver. I don't think so. We will just not negotiate with terrorists. Now, with the bulk of our troops sitting within the circle here, we kind of did a little bit different lineup for this second wave. I'm putting my archers out front, and that way they can start shooting people from a distance, and then we can pull them back and then push our main force forward. That's kind of the idea and the hope that it works out. Recently, the archers did get a giant buff, and that makes them a little bit better to have around. But once again, Lord Grumpyface is nervous. Let's see what he has to say this time. You're offering me less? Oh, that's so cute. Goodness, Lord Grumpyface, you're all talk and no profit. I don't know how many times I have to tell you, but there's really nothing else that I can say other than please go away and give me your land. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm quite influential at this point. The one thing I am noticing is as soon as I said I wanted to attack Lord Grumpyface, my king's favor went down. Now, I hope that doesn't have anything to do with taxes, but it could, and I'm not sure. I guess that's something we'll have to see here in the near future. If our taxes go up exponentially, that could be a real bad situation. And what do you know? As soon as I said that, here comes a royal tax increase. Okay. I didn't see it go up. Oh well. Geez, dude. No means no. And you're offering me less again. No means no. Alright, so he's sent in, with 27 days left, his second force. Now, it looks a lot like the first one, so we'll try our best to do the same things that we did before. Just as we're not as close this time to catch them off guard, I think it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to see how our archers do as far as softening these guys up. But we'll move our troops just ever so little bit to square ourselves off with them so that when they come in, we can just start softening them up with our arrows, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. We have our spearmen on the side here that we could flank with, and then we can bring our retinue over to fight their retinue as well. Archers, let loose! Oh my, they are charging hard with their troops. Okay, archers, no longer let loose. Run away! We need to get those archers back as quick as possible. Now, they will continue their animation to shoot, so as a pro tip, make sure you tell them very much more sooner than later to come back, or else they'll get hung out to dry like that guy almost did. So we will send one of these spearmen after the arrows as soon as possible, and I think I choose those guys. And then we will collapse these guys onto them, run them forward, and attack the retinue on both sides and push forward with all of these guys. And that way we can separate everybody and we attack almost individually. I think this is going to be a really good tactic for us. But we're going to go ahead and move our archers a little bit further back. And this makes me a little nervous there. I'd rather not lose the archers. Alright, so we broke the first retinue. I'm going to bring those guys over here. We'll bring the retinue to fight here. And we'll take... Oh no, they all broke. They're all breaking all at the same time. The only ones we have left are those archers that are running for their dear lives. Actually, we've broken them all. Fantastic. That actually worked out really well. So now it's just these last archers that we've got to try to get, and they are making a break for it. But we did catch up to them, and we are taking them down. They are trying to get their distance from us, but I don't think it's going to work, gentlemen. Everybody push forward, and everybody attack. Victory is ours. We have Selbitz. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely fantastic. This could not have worked out better. It is exactly what I wanted. And I have some plans to make sure that we have all the forces that we could ever want to attack this last land. Because this is it. Lord Grumpyface only has this one more territory, and I know what I want to do. I want to put basically 2 outposts in each of these areas, and that way I can send troops in and reinforcements in, because I'm pretty sure he'll put up a pretty big fight for this last territory. So with a new territory claimed, taxes figured out, all the money we could ever want, and food no longer being an issue, I think that is a good place to stop this episode. So if you did enjoy what you saw today and you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description. One is for Patreon, where support on Patreon will get your name in the credits as well as a city named after you. The other is for Discord. On Discord, you can reach out to me personally or join in the group chat, make game suggestions, or just give me tips and tricks for any game that you want me to play or that I'm currently playing. Other ways to support is to leave a comment down below. I've enjoyed the tips and tricks that people have been leaving in the comments. But as always, the best way to support is to like and subscribe, as it does help the channel out. Hit the notification bell so you can be alerted of any time any Manor Lords or any other content gets uploaded to the page. Hit one of the buttons at the end of the screen to see what else we've played, and don't forget to keep gaming for the love of games. Bye now.